Om Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagatgurum. So we are discussing the concept of Karma Yoga in Bhagavad Gita, which constitutes the third chapter of Bhagavad Gita. The goal is the same. The methods could be different. And the Hindu scriptures, they are formed from this practical point of view, that the faculties which we have, the way our life, our mind functions or works, no point of giving the philosophy which we can't use. Philosophy is something which is not available, or rather that which can't be perceived by our five senses. You do not need scriptures to say what is visible, what is eatable, what is tastable, what fragrance or smell you can take. These things are part of our life. Scriptures are not required to say that which is recognized, that which is available, that can be experienced by the five senses. Scriptures say something which the senses may not be able to perceive. But mind, when trained, or mind when pure and concentrated in terms of focus, then that mind develops a capacity. For example, a thread which you can break with your hand. If I try to hit you with a thread, you may not even feel, you may feel a touch only. But science says, with the same thread, if it comes with a greater velocity, greater speed, greater force, then it has a capacity even to cut your finger. It is not the thread, it is not the mass, but it is the force. So the mind, if it is scattered, impure, may not have that capacity. But that mind, when it becomes pure means those things which scatter the mind is not there. Desires, strong likings and dislikes. When mind is free from all this, that mind is called a pure mind. And then it is concentrated. How the concentration works? In our childhood we used to do it, all practice. If you have not done in your life, do it. Get a magnifying glass, put in front of the rays of the sun and see it completely perpendicular. So the rays that falls on that circumference of magnifying glass gets concentrated. And we used to do this. Take a paper, magnifying glass, concentrated sun rays, it will start burn the paper. And then burning, we used to shift slowly and write our name on a paper. But you hold the paper in front of sun, it doesn't burn. You keep in front of magnifying glass, it doesn't burn. When you keep the magnifying glass in such a way that little small amount of rays, when they get concentrated, it has a capacity to create fire. Such a small, we are not talking about huge sun. Create a magnifying glass, say 1 meter, 2 meters, 5 meters diameter. And then you concentrate, it can create terrible heat. It can burn things. So idea is this. What a concentrated mind can do, you cannot understand unless you concentrate your mind. What a pure mind can do, you can't understand unless you have that pure mind. It has nothing to do with how intelligent you are. It has nothing to do with how sharp, calculative, analytical, logical. All these are different faculties of mind. But those who have pure mind, even Jesus Christ says, those who are pure at heart, they shall see God. Not those who are intelligent will see God. Not those who are bright will see God. No. So this purity and concentration. A very interesting example is given for us to understand. Take one pail of water, bucket of water, throw a coin inside the water which goes and settles at the bottom of the bucket. Now make the water dirty. You can't see the coin. Water is pure. Disturb the water. You can't see the coin. To see the coin at the bottom of the water, bottom of the bucket, the water has to be pure and water has not, it has to be still or it should not be disturbed. If the mind is not pure, if mind is not either concentrated or at least still, you do not know what is at the bottom of the mind. This example is given. So all the faculties of our mind, all the faculties of our being, purity is one part, concentration is another part, stillness is another part. When it comes to application of that mind, you can prove yourself intelligent and analytical and logical and different types of mindsets. When we study any subject you study, if you have the basic information about that, it is the state of mind which makes the subject easier or difficult. In other way, if you want to see, whenever you study whatever, actually you are studying your mind. Actually you are training your mind. Everything is game of this mind. You see any religion, any part of the world, whoever is spiritually great, whether they were incarnations and prophets or saints or whomsoever, you have innumerable examples where those people, individuals, were not highly educated. But all had this quality, that they were guileless, simple-minded, not crooked. They were pure, and they were free from these extreme likings and dislikes. When you become extrovert, you are affected by that. You will find 10 people are sitting, one person will continuously grumble. So hot it is. How? Cannot do anything. What about rest of the 9 people? They also are in the same heat. But they are not that much perturbed or disturbed. Here is the state of mind. Our life doesn't go in a same or the similar way. As the currents in the wind, currents in water are different in different locations. In the same way, at different points of time in our life, we are either happy or unhappy. Things of the world makes us happy or unhappy. The more attached you are, chances of your becoming more happy and more unhappy is there. If you do not want to be unhappy, you have to sacrifice that so-called happiness also. You want happiness, but you do not want unhappiness, cannot. But this is the experience of all. Happiness has a limitation, but your misery doesn't have limitations. If your happiness can increase in a mathematical progression, your misery increases in a geometrical progression. This is the experience of all. And because of that little happiness which we have, we hanker, we are mad to get that happiness for a short period of time, but it gives immense misery. And we keep on suffering throughout a long period of time because of that small amount of happiness. And this experience of all of us. In Bhagavatam, there is a story which depicts our life. A person, while walking in the forest, fell down in a well. But while he was falling down, he was desperate to hold on to something so that he doesn't go till the bottom of the well. So he caught hold of something that happened to be a creeper. So he was hanging in the wall, in the well, holding the creeper. He looked down. The bottom of the well is full of venomous snakes. Then he looked up. Already a tiger is there, running behind him. So he can't go up, he can't go down. In the meantime, he found one black and one white rat. 2 rats came and started eating the creeper. That means time also is short. If he tries to climb, rats may go away, but he will be in the hands of tiger. Time is short. If these 2 rats cut the creeper, he will fall and will be in midst of the venomous snakes. So this is happening and he is worried what to do. In the meantime, a big tree beside the well has a huge honeycomb on the tree which is outside the well. From there a drop of honey is falling. And our friend who is hanging on the creeper extends his mouth and want to take that honey and be happy. This is a depiction given. This is what our life is all about. That few drops of honey, that few drops of happiness, for that we are. And we are hanging, holding on to this life. Death is certain, 100%. Whoever is sitting here, 4 pro 8 and myself 9, these 9 people, if not in 2 years' time or 10 years' time or 50 years' time, there will be a time when none of us will be in this world. That is 100% sure. There is no doubt about it. And who are those 2 rats? One is black, one is white. One is day, one is night. Continuously breaking our life, taking away our life. Every day and night passes, one day is gone. And look at our intelligence cum stupidity, that we are not even worried about it. There are incidents in the life of Sri Ramakrishna. When he is doing sadhana and he has intense longing to know the truth. When it is dusk, when it is evening, he used to cry, "Mother, one more day passed and I have not achieved the truth." Whether you utilize or not, your days will pass. Whether we do anything or not, we are progressing towards death. And that is certain. You don't need to be a philosopher to know that. This is the truth. One side is the snake. Either you die in the hands of the snakes or in the hands of the tiger. And day and night are cutting and reducing your life every day. Forgetting all that, extending the mouth and the tongue to get few drops of that honey which is falling. All of us are in search of what? All of us are in search of happiness. All of us want to be happy. How many of us take food just to survive? Yes, food is for us to survive. But we want to take food to enjoy, comfort. Whatever we are doing, unconsciously also if you do, we are doing only to be happy. When I say, people laugh. The action could be diametrically opposite, but the purpose is the same, to be happy. People get married to be happy, people take divorce also to be happy. The goal is happiness. Action could be diametrically opposite. And every individual wants to be happy. So far as you are source of happiness, to me I like you. Because I want happiness, no? I means all of us individually. I want to be happy. If you are a source of happiness, to me I like you. If you are not source of happiness, I don't like you. This is our common behavior. I want to be happy. We didn't develop any relationship. We are free. Whatever 1 or 2 relations were there in form of parents and brother, sister, that we are little away from them in a way. What happens to the relationship in that way? Because both of them want to be happy. Very interesting. And which relationship can survive? Can continue for a long time? Because both want to be happy. If one is more selfish, then there will be tension. Whether you are happy or not, I don't care. I want to be happy. There are selfish people. Then there will be a person. No. You also should be happy. I also should be happy. And then we call a very healthy relationship. But the best relationship is, whatever happens to me is not important, but you should be happy. If that is there, and that is a very healthy relationship, very positive relationship, the relationship which is based on sacrifice, there is more sweetness, dependability, love, etc. Where there is more and more selfishness, then it becomes either second type or either the third type. So scripture always address the ways which are practical in our life. Whether you understand karma yoga or not, whether you consider karma as a yoga or not, whether you give any importance to your karma or not, doesn't matter. But doing karma, doing action, remaining active, less or more, is must in our life. Nobody in this world is without karma. Even if you say, I don't want to do anything, I just want to sleep, that also is karma. I just want to sit down, that also is karma. There is nothing, not even moment, when you are not doing karma. So it is very much necessary that we understand what karma is all about, how karma can help us, how karma can harm us. Study of that is called karma yoga. And Sri Krishna is very clearly telling many things, which we were discussing last. I think today is the 20th lecture in the series of this karma yoga. The last sloka when we read it was, all of us are junior to somebody and senior to somebody. All of us are elder to somebody and younger to somebody. There is nobody who is only elder and not younger. Everybody is elder to someone and younger to someone. So either you are ahead of me or you are behind me. If I know the way, I have to learn, or I have to teach you, or you have to learn from me. If you are ahead of me, I have to learn from you. And that's why you see, people learn from the seniors, people learn for the more experienced and intelligent, or anyway, whoever is ahead of. Now it is the responsibility of the elders to live life in such a way, to explain and teach the ways of life in such a way that you do not create confusion, you do not create misunderstanding, you do not misguide people, those who are following you, or those who are younger to you, or those who are junior to you, or those who join after you. People may be elder to you, but they join after you. So Krishna says, Na buddhi bhedam janayet. Don't create confusion in the mind of people. What I know at the age of 60, those who are young, 25, 30, 40, they don't know. They have yet to reach that state. At the age of 60, I got diabetes. So I tell, hey, don't give sweet to anyone. Because I am seeing the world by my specs. Don't give sweet to anyone. Sweet is not good. I enjoyed till 60. Now I have diabetes, so I stop sweet for everybody. No. You can tell that my experience says, if you eat too much sweets, there are chances of you are getting diabetes. So be little cautious about it. That you can say. Sri Krishna says, especially in wisdom of life, Don't create confusion in the mind of people. Hey, don't do that. Until you do, you fail, you suffer, you don't understand. It's very interesting. We see people suffering, but we don't understand. But sometimes we understand. None of us have tasted poison. As soon as you taste, you will die. So we are alive. That means we have not taken poison. But all of us believe 100% if we take poison, we will die. How we know? Because somebody took poison and died. So if I take, I also will die. That means what? I am accepting the experience of somebody else. I don't need to undergo those experiences. Everything I don't need to undergo. By doing so, somebody suffered. Hey, be careful, you don't do it. You learn it from somebody's failure. But in many things of the life, people suffer, but we say, no, let me experience and suffer. And we are ready to suffer. So you undergo the experience, suffer, and after suffering also, there is no guarantee that we learn. The instinct is so powerful. The desire is so powerful. Even if you know it doesn't allow you to keep quiet. That particular aspect is discussed in Bhagavad Gita. When Arjuna asked Krishna, even if I want to control the mind, there is something which forces my mind to do it. I know it is wrong, but still I do it. Anichannapi varsneya baladiva niyojita. I know, I do not want to do it. But something forces me from inside, within, to do it. I do it and I suffer. Suffering means you don't do it second time, no. Still you do it again. This is something, a phenomena which is common in human life. Because of that, you have categories of people. There are some people who understand others' suffering and then do not go to that path because people suffer. People do not understand the experience of others. So they go to that path, suffer once and come back and never to go back again. But majority of the people keep on going to that path again and again and again in spite of suffering. It doesn't seem to be logical, but that's what is being seen in the world. That's why the wise people also there is categories. Not everybody is equally wise. Very interestingly somebody told, not everybody is equally wise. Some are really wise and others are otherwise. There is a nice book written by Sudhamurti. Sudhamurti has written a book called The Wise and Otherwise. Very beautiful book. She writes the anecdotes which happens in her life. And then she remembers and writes down. One man came to get a job in Infosys or somewhere where she was. So says, which college you passed your engineering? This particular college. And that fellow says, in 1979, 78 batch, I was the first. And he was not selected. So he said, I was the best in that batch. How I am not selected? Sudhamurti writes, and I told, you are telling lie because in the same batch I was there and I was first. You don't tell me you are first. So, which category we are, this introspection is required. We commit mistake, we suffer, accept it. That's very natural. But after understanding, after undergoing the suffering, still I continue to do the same, then there is some issue. We had a great Swami, Swami Madhavanandaji, he used to say, it is not wrong to commit a mistake, but it is wrong to justify that. Sorry, I did something wrong. Yeah, we are human beings. Nobody is expecting that you will be perfect. But after doing wrong things, to justify that is not correct. So, karma is something, action is something which it's a compulsory subject. All of us have to do the same thing. We are monks, still we work. Somebody is working, they do work. Housewives also do work. There is nobody in this world who doesn't work. Everybody has to do work. Not only for their own survival, but also wherever we are, if I am taking from the society, it is my duty to give back to the society. Simply taking from the society will not help. There are people who just want to take and doesn't want to give back to the society. Can you go to the market and take the things whichever you want without paying money? No. So you give money. How much money you give? Equivalent amount. If I want the things worth of $5, I have to pay $5. If I have to get the thing worth of $50, I have to pay $50. This is the law. In every way in life it happens so. If you think you are getting free from somewhere, in one way or other you are going to pay back. It looks you are not paying money, but in other way you are paying back. This give and take in this world, you are giving back to the world, giving back to the universe should be more than what you receive from the universe. Universe means society, world, whatever. Those who keep on taking selfishly and do not want to give back, whichever form you want to give back. In the shops, they accept only money. So you have to pay money to get the things. But anywhere, when you work in the office, you get salary end of the month. What you give to the company, not money, you give your services. Everybody in this world have to work, have to give back whatever they take. That's why there are some people, very few people, they take less and less from the universe. Think of the olden time, but still also there could be some. Those who stay in forests and Himalayas and all that, they live with the bare necessities. They accept very little and keep on giving more and more and more in terms of their wisdom or their spirituality or whichever way you want. So idea is this, that give and take has to have a balance. Continuous, incessantly must work. Non-stop we have to work. Those who do not are called selfish people. That's why we need to work. So Krishna says here, as I told, all of us are junior to someone, senior to someone, elder to someone, younger to someone, experienced to someone, less experienced to someone, wiser than some people, less wiser than some people. There is always a category, there is always a place in that series where some people are ahead of us, some people are behind us. So if you are ahead of some people in age, in knowledge, in experience, in seniority, whichever way, if you are ahead of people, don't confuse the people who are younger to you or junior to you or less experienced than you. Don't create confusion. think of a person who has done his doctorate and he starts telling to his children, hey, no point of studying this kindergarten and primary and all that. Eventually, not necessary, wastage of time. Only when you take degree only it is helpful. No. Your degree is standing on the foundation of kindergarten, primary school and secondary school. Without that you cannot. So anyway you do not misguide people. Krishna says, Na buddhivedam janayet ajnanam karma sanginam. Those who are active, but active with selfishness. You tell them to become less selfish. You don't tell them not to work. One person came to Gandhiji, and there are many positive side of Gandhiji also, politically negative side many people see, but that we do not want to say. But there were many good things in him. One person came to him and says, this ritualistic worship is hypocrisy. This ritualistic worship doesn't mean anything. That hypocrisy is called pakhanda. So that's why I have renounced, I have stopped doing ritualistic worship so that I can be free from hypocrisy. Gandhiji smiled and told, you can renounce the hypocrisy, you do not renounce puja itself. Hypocrisy you renounce, why you need to renounce the work itself? So, idea is this. Na buddhi vedam janayet ajnanam karma sanginam. Those who are karma sangi, those who are attached to do work, let it be for a selfish motive. Let it be for any material gain and wants to do work, hard work. Don't misguide them. Hey, don't do work. No, let him do work. You can tell him that work need not be always selfish. Do little unselfish work. Even knowingly or unknowingly, this philosophy, every country, every government wants to teach people like this. No need every time to do work with selfishness. Do little unselfish work. That's why every organization, they encourage volunteerism. Be volunteer, not for money, just work. You are giving back to the society. Always your work need not be converted into dollar. Sometimes you do work, not for dollar, just for the service, giving back to the society. Joshayet sarva karmani vidvan yukta samachar. Vidvan, the wise person. Rather, he will encourage people to do more and more work. Do work with them. Enjoin them to do more and more work. And they work so hard as if they are also attached. But a small difference. If you can do work more with less and less selfish motive. Many people have said, not from spiritual point of view, but practical point of view, when you take a job in a company, X dollar is given to you and your job description says this A, B, C, D things you have to do. You take that money, you do this work. But if you are a good worker, you not only do what you are supposed to do, you do more than what you are supposed to do. Giving more than what you take from the company. That's the policy. We look after so many departments, and mission itself has 65 to 70 paid people, all departments put together. So I have to attend sometimes. Government will tell that, Swami, you may be a monk, but you must learn properly some HR things and some finance things and all that. So I have attended many courses earlier. So I attended one full day training how to evaluate the performance of the people and give the performance bonus. So I attended the whole day course. That's why when I say, people don't like to hear. Performance bonus is not year-end anpao to you. No. You are already paid for which you do your work. If out of the way you do something or not, take any new initiative or not, you give more than what you receive. If that you do, then only some performance bonus you will get. It's not year-end anpao to you. No. For that you are getting salary. What more you want? 30th month salary also you are getting. No. All these are there. AWS, this and that. But performance bonus, PB depends on your initiative. Out of the way, helping others. Everybody knows in the whole group, this is the person who wants to help everybody. It's not your prescribed duty. Oh, so and so is not well. Immediately rush to help. It's not your duty. You do it because it's your nature to do. Because of that nature, you get something extra. And that you don't demand. It's not your in purview of your right. You do, you may get something like that. So here is a Joshet Sarvakarmani. Do everything. Encourage them to do. Maybe on the way you teach, that no need to do with selfish motive always. That's why we say, those who keep on looking at the watch, already time is over. My duty is only up to 5:30 watt. It is already 5:35. No, they are not good workers. If you want to see the watch, when you come in the morning to do it, at that time, oh, I'm late for 5 minutes. Then I can understand. While going, you don't see the watch. So, he says, Na buddhi bhedam, don't confuse people. Don't see at your age, oh, those things are not useful. He has to undergo. Wisdom you can teach, but not discouraging the activities or discouraging the karma. Prakite kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvashah ahankara vimudhatma kartaham iti manyate. Here a little philosophy. That the sense, the feeling of agentship that I am doing comes out of ignorance. Person who is a thinking person or a wise person understands that whatever I have today is contribution of multiple people. Not even one or two, 10, 20 people have worked hard. A simple fact. All of us are wearing clothes. Think of the origin, how many people worked behind it. That's why you are able to put on this cloth on your body. Maybe the cotton was produced in Egypt somewhere. Maybe that cotton became a thread in somebody's thread mill. Maybe that came to either Ahmedabad somewhere in India or Manchester in UK. It came in a cotton milk and cloth became, then went to different vendors, then went to the tailor, then somebody stitched it, somebody washed it, ironed it, and then it comes to you. Minimum, not only 10, 15, sometimes hundreds of people have worked behind it. Then only it comes to you. No point of telling that it's my money and I have purchased. Even with your money you cannot purchase until those 10, 20 people work hard. Even a piece of cloth you cannot wear. So this comes out of ignorance. This is mine. I am paying money. You may pay money, that's fine. But people have put work. It is not one person's job. Whatever we are doing, food for example, we eat food. The person who makes the food, I have cooked it. Thinks of the vegetables, grains, spices, oil. How many shops, factories, farms worked, then only it came. Then all came, joined together, mixed together, and lastly became a small amount of curry and came to your plate. Everything in this world is not by one single. The whole society is one unit. We are all part of that. Whole society is a machine. We all are maybe small, but we are all part of that. We need to do our duty. And whatever we are getting is not by our effort, but by effort of so many people. So here philosophically, Krishna says that if you observe yourself, your senses, your body is acting with the objects of senses. TV is there. The existence of TV is not there if the person who is watching TV doesn't have eyes. He has to have an eye, no? So when he looks at the TV, whatever program, through his eyes he is watching. Eyes are nothing but lens. Then whatever information comes, your brain has a hard disk, chitta. In that lot of memory is there. Some good memories, some bad memories, some memory of pleasure, some memory of pain. And what you see coincide with your memory of pleasure, so you continue to see it. When it is not, then you switch off or change the channel. But eventually who? Eventually you, who is the witness of these two, the senses and the object of senses working. What you see in the TV, those pictures are falling on your eyes, on your retina, and then information is conveyed through the brain. But you are that consciousness who is able to witness this whole process. Sri Krishna says, be conscious of that. Actions are being done in every way by the gunas, the qualities of the nature, sattva, rajas, tama, etc. One who is deluded by egoism thinks that I am the doer. It is something like, one example only we give. Night we will take dinner, light or heavy. If you take little heavy dinner, you feel, wow, today I took more than what I should be taking. Then you slept in the night. Morning you get up, heaviness has gone, food is digested. Do you have that notion? Do you have that experience? The whole night I was busy in digesting my food. You are digesting, nobody else digests for you. But you don't have that sense of doership there, that I am digesting the food. You are witness, not even witness. So idea is that it is always the senses and the sense object work. We out of ignorance start feeling that I am doing it. Sri Krishna says, Ahankara vimudhatma, one who is deluded, one who doesn't know the truth, will say that I am the doer. Actually, you don't do. It is the senses will do and sense objects will do. You do not do. You are a witness. You are the consciousness. Just like I told the example, that your body will digest the food. That is the only one activity which even if you are doing, you don't have the sense that I am doing it. How many of us feel, for 24 hours I am busy huh? In beating my heart. Your heart is working through you, no? Automatic. Now, you only are responsible for that. Or somebody is running the heart inside. Or somebody is sitting inside to digest your food. No. You are doing that. But we don't have that sense that I am doing. Today also I was talking to someone. To realize this, that I am not the doer. It is the body, it is the senses, and the objects are working and doing things. I am witness. I do not do anything. To realize that, it's all religion and philosophy is all about. If that you can realize by going to the temple, it's good. If it helps you to realize by doing japa, it is good. Whatever in the name of religion we practice, eventually what we want to achieve is this knowledge that I am the witness of all that is happening. I am not part of that. I don't do anything. Consciousness doesn't do anything. It's the body who does. And this segregating oneself, first they say to segregate your mind and the body. Sri Ramakrishna used to say very beautifully, let the pain and pleasure of the body and the pain pleasure, let them decide what to do. Mind has to be separate from that. That's why we have seen those who are advanced in the spiritual life apparently suffering. Doctors are coming and treating. A devotee came and asked that monk, how are you, Swamiji? Oh, I am fine. No, but doctors told your half of the body is paralyzed. Oh, you are talking about the body. That doctor knows better than me. You ask him. I am fine. The body is not fine. This is being the realizations of the people. And it is not imagination realization. They do really feel. So idea is this. Eventually what karma which we are doing, continuous karma we do, our mind remains continuously engaged. The purpose behind this is to realize that I am the consciousness. There is one indirect reference with the Kenopanishad that we'll take up next week. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.